Joining in on this, CBS 1 Fernandez has the latest source.
And Jeff Sharon, his attorney, has just confirmed that actor Mark Salling has been found dead.
Hollywood has always had its share of controversy, but some stories go far beyond the usual scandals. Behind the bright lights and red carpets, there are careers that have been completely derailed by crime, shocking behavior, or disturbing revelations. In this video, we'll be looking at actors who, at one point, had the world at their feet, starring in blockbuster films, beloved TV shows, or rising through Hollywood with promising futures. But, through their own actions, choices, and crimes, their careers fell apart, leaving behind a legacy defined not by talent, but by tragedy and controversy. This is When Crime Ends a Career, Hollywood's Fallen Stars.
It looks like she's a shadow of the person that I met.
The 35-year-old actress was expressionless and silent, leaving the latest court hearing Friday, connected to the sex trafficking charges she faces. It's alleged she was the recruiter and sex slave master for the society kept secret for so many years.
Allison Mack rose to fame in the early 2000s for her role as Chloe Sullivan on the hit TV series Smallville. For a decade, she played the witty, ambitious journalist and became one of the show's most recognizable faces. With steady work and a strong fan following, Mack seemed poised for a long and successful career in television. But years later, shocking revelations would surface about her involvement with NXIVM, a so-called self-help organization that was later exposed as a cult.
When I first came to ESP, I had on the surface something that seemed to be like the perfect life, or a pretty good life. Like superficially, materialistically, I was very successful. I couldn't stand to be with my family for more than 2 hours at a time. And the idea of being honest with even my best friend was something that was so far outside the realm of possibility that I just kind of thought you always lived your life inauthentically. I literally didn't know that it was possible to have a week with your family where you didn't feel like leaving. I started to transform in a way that I never expected. I have an experience of my family that is nothing but joy, and it's astounding.
While NXIVM presented itself as a group dedicated to personal growth and empowerment, its leader, Keith Raniere, was secretly running a manipulative system that exploited members. Mack became one of Raniere's top recruiters. She was accused of luring women into a secret subgroup within NXIVM, where they were coerced into giving damaging personal information, branded with symbols, and pressured into serving Raniere's desires. Prosecutors revealed that Mack played a major role in recruiting, controlling, and intimidating members, all while presenting it as a path to self-betterment. In 2018, Mack was arrested and charged with racketeering, conspiracy, and other serious crimes. The revelations shocked fans and the entertainment world, as the actress once associated with portraying a strong, independent character was now linked to manipulation and abuse behind the scenes. In 2021, Allison Mack was sentenced to 3 years in prison for her role in NXIVM, along with fines and mandated community service. Her once promising career was permanently destroyed, and she will forever be remembered less for her acting than for her involvement in one of the most disturbing modern cult cases. Allison Mack's downfall is a sobering reminder of how influence and charisma, when tied to dangerous ideologies, can completely unravel not only careers, but lives.
Parker says she does wonder to what extent Mack herself may have been brainwashed in all this. Defense attorneys for Keith Raniere say any sex was always consensual and nobody ever joined the group or stayed in it against their will. The trials for both Mack and Raniere are scheduled to start this fall.
More details are emerging following actor Ezra Miller's arrest on the Big Island. A Hilo man told our Max Rodriguez he saw the star of the movie The Flash get agitated many times.
Actor Ezra Miller has pleaded guilty after being accused of breaking into a Vermont home and stealing alcohol last year. The Justice League star agreed to a $500 fine and probation conditions that'll include mental health treatment.
Ezra Miller was once considered one of Hollywood's most promising young stars. After breaking out in 2011's We Need to Talk About Kevin, their career quickly accelerated with roles in The Perks of Being a Wallflower and major franchise films like Fantastic Beasts and Justice League, where they portrayed the Flash. Miller's unique screen presence and talent gave them an edge in Hollywood, making them a recognizable name across mainstream audiences. But beginning in the late 2010s and into the 2020s, Miller's off-screen behavior started overshadowing their career. A series of arrests and allegations quickly turned the spotlight away from their work. In 2020, a video surfaced of Miller appearing to choke a woman outside a bar in Iceland, sparking widespread controversy. Over the next couple of years, reports of erratic behavior, harassment, and multiple legal issues began to surface. In 2022, Miller was arrested several times in Hawaii on charges ranging from disorderly conduct to harassment. More disturbing accusations followed, including allegations of grooming, intimidation, and abusive behavior toward fans and acquaintances. These controversies painted a picture of someone whose personal struggles and actions were spiraling out of control. Despite these mounting issues, Warner Brothers pressed forward with the release of The Flash in 2023, a film that had been in development for years. While Miller remained in the lead role, the film was heavily overshadowed by their off-screen controversies. The publicity surrounding the release was notably strained, with the studio limiting Miller's public appearances and interviews. Today, Miller's career remains uncertain. Once seen as a rising star with limitless potential, they are now viewed through the lens of controversy, with public trust and industry opportunities severely damaged. For many, Ezra Miller's story represents how quickly fame and opportunity can collapse under the weight of repeated legal trouble and disturbing behavior.
That 70s show actor Danny Masterson appeared in court on rape charges today. Prosecutors claim he raped a 23-year-old woman in 2001 and two other women in 2003 at his Hollywood Hills home. He was arrested in June and has been free on bail since. Masterson's arraignment was postponed for about a month, so he didn't enter a plea. The actor could face up to 45 years in prison if convicted.
Danny Masterson was once best known for his role as Stephen Hyde in the hit sitcom That 70s Show. With his laid-back sarcasm and signature look, he became a fan favorite throughout the show's 8-season run. Masterson was also heavily connected in Hollywood socially, DJing events and appearing in other television projects. At the height of his career, it seemed like he had a long future ahead of him in both acting and the entertainment industry. But beneath that successful image, troubling allegations began to surface. In the early 2000s, several women came forward claiming Masterson had sexually assaulted them. For years, these accusations were quietly dismissed or overshadowed, often complicated by his association with the Church of Scientology. Many of the women who spoke out alleged that the church actively discouraged them from reporting him to authorities, creating an environment where his behavior went unchecked. The situation escalated when, in 2017, the allegations resurfaced in the wake of the Me Too movement. This time, the claims gained mainstream attention. Netflix quickly cut ties with Masterson, firing him from the show The Ranch. His career, once steady and secure, effectively collapsed overnight. In 2020, Masterson was formally charged with multiple counts of sexual assault. The case would stretch on for years, filled with testimony from victims who detailed disturbing experiences that had been ignored for too long. Finally, in May 2023, he was found guilty on 2 counts and later sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. Masterson's downfall is one of the most stark examples of how criminal behavior can completely erase a once beloved career.
We begin with breaking news. An actor from the hit show Glee has been found dead.
Sky 2 was over the scene a short time ago. You can see this is where Salling's body was discovered near a riverbed in Sunland. Happened right around 8:50 this morning. Salling was awaiting sentencing in a child pornography case. Last month, he pleaded guilty as part of a deal with prosecutors that was reached back in October. He had agreed to serve between 4 and 7 years in jail, and now was expected to be finalized in March.
Mark Salling was best known for his role as Noah Puckerman, or Puck, on the hit musical series Glee. For 6 seasons, he played the charismatic bad boy, gaining recognition and a loyal fan base as the show became a cultural phenomenon in the early 2010s. With the visibility and success of Glee, Salling seemed to have a stable career in both acting and music. But behind the scenes, his life would take a very different turn. In 2015, Salling was arrested on charges related to possessing and distributing illegal material involving children. Investigators uncovered an extensive collection on his personal devices, amounting to tens of thousands of files. The discovery shocked the entertainment industry and destroyed his reputation almost overnight. Salling initially attempted to fight the charges, but the overwhelming evidence against him led to a plea deal. In 2017, he pled guilty and was facing years in federal prison. However, before his sentencing could take place, tragedy struck. In January 2018, Mark Salling was found dead at the age of 35, having taken his own life. His downfall is one of the most infamous cases of a celebrity career ending in disgrace. What had once been a promising path in Hollywood became permanently overshadowed by serious crimes and an abrupt, tragic end. The stories we've covered today serve as a stark reminder of how quickly fame can fade when crimes and destructive choices come to light. For many of these actors, their legacies are no longer tied to the characters they played or the art they created, but to the actions that ended their careers and changed their lives forever. Hollywood has always thrived on stories of rise and fall, but when the fall comes from crime, the damage ripples far beyond the spotlight, affecting victims, families, and the industry as a whole. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, consider subscribing for more content that explores the darker side of fame and the untold stories behind it.